All right, so today we're going to be looking at how to decompose a fraction. And what decomposing fractions is really about is understanding what our fractions actually mean. So we're going to start with the example 3/4. So right now what I'm in is our math strips manipulative. That's the link we have on our OneNote page. The first thing you need to do when you get to this page is go to this manipulatives section, and we need to find our fraction boxes. Just don't want to be scrolling down right now. Come on, there we go. All right, you want the one that is fraction tiles, just because when we're decomposing fractions, it's a little bit easier to view them as fractions. So I'm clicking fraction tiles. It's going to load for me, and it gives me all my fraction tiles. The first thing I want to show you before we even use our 3/4, let's just take a look at our fractions. So if we jump to our hand tool here, we have 1. I'm going to drag that over. Notice that 1/2 plus another 1/2 is the same length as the 1. Well, that's because 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. You can also look at your equation. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. It's a whole number since we had the same. So the same thing happens if we grab our thirds. We need 3 of them though because it's 1/3, correct? So 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3 or 1. And we can keep going on and on all the way down through all of these fractions. Once you get to, your 3/3, 4/4, that's our 1 whole. So it's equivalent to 1. So we're starting there with that understanding that our fraction shows how much of a whole that we have. So in our brownie example earlier, our whole was 1 brownie. In this example, our whole is 1, and our size is that 1 up there. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of our objects. We're looking at how to decompose 3/4. Well, how we can show this is through using our fourths blocks. If we were just drawing 3/4, we might draw it. We would have our block, and we might draw it by having our block, so that's our whole, and then when we split it into fourths, this much gets colored in. And it shows us 3/4. However, we want to decompose the fraction, so let's recreate this fraction. Get on the hand, so we can move our fractions around. Now, if we wanted to have 1 whole, we would want 4 of these, correct? So if we want 1 whole, we'd have 4, and I don't have these exactly even, so they're not lining up perfectly. But our fraction isn't 4/4, it's 3/4. So we can actually take this one away, and we're left with 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. Would you agree that this is equal to 3/4? And decomposing fractions, we're just looking for what parts make up that 3. So it's really easy to tell with our picture. The parts that make up our 3 are 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. So that's our fraction completely broken down into the smallest pieces that it can be made. And that's all we're going to do today, is break it down into those smallest pieces. Now, if you want to think and be advanced, wouldn't 1/4 plus 2/4 also equal 3/4? That would be another way you could draw and get to 3/4. But for our work that we're going to be doing today, we're going to really focus on breaking it down into the smallest pieces possible. So I want you to try on your own.